Bana bani yala asaka. Hey, naga digitali jema o. Waya, hey there. Misha tape jema o. Misha tape. Para que se de ure si pe oya pe oga gigi. Banana ma yo. Ana saka na pri yo wai. Hey! Waya. Maman a de IPCA. Le maquis chez Adé. La plus belle. Tout qui d'Ali. Mon Dieu Seigneur. À ce moment ça. Waya. Rachel de Kibo. Chez Adé. Banyo, nyali okoro prawo. Abi godo nyali. Abi godo nyali. Stefan Soko. Awa bile anana amagri ngara godo nyali ba. Stefan Soko okoro prawo. Ayiya. Godo nyali ba. Amana wele kasawa. Amagri ka wele titi papa pa wele sa seri peko seri peko. Ayo yike banyo. Tu n'es pas conscient, moi je suis conscient. Asaka.
Makuria Wapaya Sava. Onana Ayama, local one is the one Yapozani, Kripuya Moreu. Local to the Eboru Suku. Suku Okereo, Amaya, local get this one.
Good evening, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again for listening. We say welcome on LIBERIA Public Radio. Let's have fun together here this evening. It's going to be a wonderful show. We say welcome back. Folks, we've been away now for about a week or so because of some technical issues and what have you. I believe hopefully we have those resolved. Thanks to Nathaniel Cradport and the support of the CEO, Mr. Francis. So they were able to stay in the East Coast and hire people to fix my camera, fix everything out here in the West Coast. That's LIBERIA Public Radio. You're talking about leadership you can count on. Leadership, folks, leadership. That's Alfonso Zion. So, Mr. Soul, thank you very much. You and myself, we don't get along because you're conservative. I'm a liberal. But when it comes to leadership, I respect what you do for this internet network. And we say thank you. However, your conservative view has no place in this liberal mind. We can't accept your conservative view. We will not accept your view. We are the liberal and the liberal progressive, and we're not going to back down on you. But anyway, thank you for your help. I appreciate it. Now you open it up again for me to make a big mouth, and I start right on you. Folks, I want to thank all of you again this evening. Folks, if you're listening, Samson, I'm running my mouth already about somebody who helped me get me back on air, and I want to thank all of you again. Thank you very much. Folks, we have some wonderful show for you tonight, and it's a doozy. And here we're going to be telling people once again to be careful, folks. These are some of the things, and I will point out some issues as usual. When I don't agree with this government of the Republic of Liberia, I state so. When the government is doing good, in my book, I state so. It doesn't matter what I'm a member, a Liberty Party. If the people are doing good, I would say. But if they're not doing good, I will also say so. And that's why made me somebody who I consider myself a neutral, despite the fact that I'm a liberal. A progressive liberal. Let's put it that way. Okay. We're gonna start. But before we do that, folks, safety. First of all, my own safety. I want to thank Jesus Christ. I want to thank God for the opportunity given us again to be on air. I want to thank God for the opportunity given us to even get up in the morning. My God is wonderful. I'm not saying your God. I said my God is wonderful, and I want to thank my God for the opportunity. Thank you. All right, let's go on safety, folks. Winter is coming over very shortly, and my understanding is getting cold out there in the East Coast. Of course, it's getting cold here too, but it's a little bit hot on this side. But please, whatever you do, stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Keep your eyes on the road. Have these 3-second rule, and I'll point that out again for you. 3-second rule, especially in the wintertime. It's better to have space between you and the next car ahead of you, so that because wintertime, if you try to step the brakes, you can see yourself sliding, doing the slide move. So you want to have enough space between you and the next person. Wintertime. Don't rush yourself. Have enough time ahead of yourself to whatever you're going to do. Because safety is good. If you have these what if situation, what do you do? Those are the kinds of things you need to do as a safety-minded person. It's very important that we keep safety in mind, folks. Winter coming. Keep flashlight. Brand new one. Good batteries. Flashlight. I didn't say phone lights. I said flashlights. Keep it in your car. Keep blankets in your car. Keep water in your car. Those are 3 very important things you have to have in your car at all times, because you never know what's going to happen. Okay? Another thing you need to do, winter is coming, I hope by this time that you have winterized your house and your car. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but I hope that you have done that. And the important thing that you need to do, especially when winter's coming over, You're getting ready to go to work, whether it be the night work or day work. Whenever you get out, make your round around your car, because you drove it night before, you drove it day before, so you don't know exactly what happened. So walk around it. If there's any tail lights or anything that is messed up, so you know. The most important thing as you walk around your car is to pay attention to the tires. Because if the tires are a little bit lower, okay, nowadays they have these wonderful cars. You sit in there, when the tires low, the light comes on. It informs you. The only thing is, it doesn't tell you whether it's the right side, left side, passenger, driver side. No, it just tells you lights on. But you walk around and you will be able to notice if the tire is slightly different. You go to the nearest gas station, put air in it. Sometimes you have nails in the tire. And you don't know that because the nail is on the other side of the tire, inside. You don't know that. So you go and put air in it. But most of the time when you have nails stick in the tire, you have what it calls slow leak. Because the nail is blocking the air from coming out. But whenever you whenever the tire roll over the nail, it opens up a little bit and slow air comes out. Or air comes out slowly, okay? So you have a slow leak, but you want to make sure these things are taken care of. If you don't feel comfortable with your car, take it to the nearest gas station or the garage next to you and ask them to look at it. They'll look at it, okay? Mine issues, the reason why I'm bringing this up, and I believe this is very important, is the fact that you don't want to get stuck on the highway. On the highway, those of you that have been driving on this highway, you notice on your right-hand side, the inside shoulder is the left. If you're driving on a 2-lane highway, one car going, one car coming, there's no inside shoulder. You only have outside shoulder. But if you're driving on 4-lane highway, 2 going, 2 coming, you have a divider. You have a inside shoulder. And inside shoulder, most of the time, they will give you maybe 2 feet the most. Sometimes, because if they go anything more than that, they don't want people using it as a fast lane. If it is going to be designated as fast lane, it must stay so. HOV lane. Here in California, we have that. Okay? But the main thing is, you don't want to be cut on the shoulder, right shoulder, trying to fix your tires. Because nowadays, the speed of these cars, they are unbelievable. And sometimes somebody coming in doesn't even pay attention. Texting and driving. Oh, they got a car wasting time. Let me go on the shoulder. Before you look, you're right there. What do you do? And that's why you don't want to be cut on the shoulder fixing tires. And that's what I'm asking you to make the usual inspection so that if anything happens, you will be able to know. Make sure in your car also. Why am I taking this much time on car? It's very important. You have windshield wiper, clean blade. The windshield blade is the one that wipes the windshield itself. The blade. If the blades are all torn up, that's why when you get, just like my car, right now, I'm not even in school, but when I was in school, I used to have that. When the windshield, when it's raining, I wipe the stuff and still water stay there because it's all bent out. You don't want that. You want to make sure when it's clean, you clean everything else. Folks, this is Samson to LIBERIA Popular, and I'm just getting started this evening. I'm so excited to be back on again. We want to thank all of you for tuning in. It's going to be a doozy one here tonight. It's going to be a doozy one. We say thank God, thank God. I am going to be talking about the Millennium Challenge Corporation. Quite recently, there's some issues in Liberia about that, and I will be playing, excuse me, I will be playing some video here tonight, and let me don't jump over everything. Let me just go ahead myself. Let me go ahead and play you, as usual, Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Folks, the president of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. Weah, president of the Republic of Liberia. Folks, he is. Woo! Good evening, Mr. President. We say welcome on LIBERIA Public Radio. We say thank you very much, Mr. President, for being our president. We support whatever you're going to do that is in the benefit of the interest or benefit of that will benefit our people or be in the interest of our people. We will support it. But however, we also reserve the right, sir. We reserve the right, sir, to criticize when we see fit. But we will do so with responsibility, and we will also do so with respect to the office of the office of the presidency of the Republic of Liberia. We also respect you as an individual. And we're not going to criticize you because we're jealous of you. Of course, I am jealous, but that's not going to give me reason to criticize you. And all my point that I'm going to be making, folks, I want you to understand these points has been made simply because I feel these are my opinion, and I would do so with respect. I'm not going to degrade the office. I'm not going to degrade the office holder himself. So let's get that point straight. Now, tonight, I will use a language that most likely in many other occasions I might not use it. But tonight it's quite suited. And the language is going to be tani sedition. And that language has been used before, and I'm sure many sedition don't like that. But I will use that tonight. And I will give you my reason. And you might not be happy with the reason that I'm going to give, but that's my opinion. So I hope you will be able to challenge me. You will be able to, whatever you want to do is up to you. You want to insult? That's because I keep saying people who comes on the platform and insult people, you have to put yourself in a certain position in order to use the insulting word. You can't be normal when you insulting. You can't be laughing and cussing people. You got to get vexed. In order for you to get vexed, something got to make you vexed. And when that thing make you vexed, something, your blood will be going somewhere else before you get to that position. I hope you don't get there. I'm just trying to express myself. I said, thank you. Give us the opportunity to express ourselves. We're not saying that you should agree with us. Disagree, please. But let's do it with respect. And that's the language, the words that I'm going to be using tonight. Tani sedition. Let's get going. Now that I start the world. Okay, let's go. Before I go on to my show here, let's go. Let's look at Dr. Weir during the election. And I will continue to play this as long as God gave me the opportunity to be on air. I will continue to play this video because I think this video is very important to the developmental agenda of Liberia. And also, it is very critical to those who, especially Dr. Weir, his thinking those days. Why was he thinking about roads and roads? There's a video that going around that the finance minister had an interview. And it's a long process, 1 hour. But that 1 hour video, I'll be playing little piece by piece for the next 4 to 5 months. It is so interesting. That video, if you listen to it in its entirety, you will understand what this government is going. You will understand that this government is taking a step that perhaps that will improve their image. Folks, this is interesting. I've been warning these people over and over for the last year and a half. Apparently, they are listening, and I would deal in that as well. It's very interesting, and I'm happy that they are listening, and we will, because this is how we have to move this country forward. So let's go on to the video where Dr. Weir during the election, 2017 election, when Dr. Weir was walking in the mud, what I consider the footstep of his brothers and sisters in the interior, or those that have no means of moving around when it's raining. Let's play the video.
Let's make sure you do that same thing for you so you can hold. Yeah, we won't hold a stick. No, I don't need shoulder roll. I need my stick. We're going to junior that before. No, I beg you.
I go
Okay,
go.
I
I
go
go
go.
go.
Man, the German system will live over. I think it's finished. Salome said, don't done. Make sure you do that.
There you have it, folks. Samson told LeBron Public. I will also want to welcome my own sister, Madam CO. Boy, thank you very much, Madam. Thank you. Welcome back again in the United States. And you and your family will continue to pray for each other. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. Let's go on. The topic tonight is that particular thing you're just looking at. Liberia flung half of the Millennium Challenge. They put it up there. But I'm going to tell you what this program is about. And then after I tell you what this program is about, then I will play the video of Dr. Weir responding to the grades segment that was given to them, to the Republic of Liberia by this Millennium Challenge Corporation. And first of all, let's get one or two things straight. The corporation itself is not one of those your everyday NGO. Okay, it says here. Okay, let's do ourselves a favor here, folks. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. Let me see if I can put that up there. All right, and hopefully people will be able to see it. Okay. All right. So well, I'm not gonna play it right now. I'll play the other one when I'm ready to show you all of the destination. But anyway, the corporation itself, for which the issue of Liberia not making the grades and what have you is becoming a very serious issue here. The corporation is an innovative and independent U.S. foreign assistance agency that is helping lead the fight against global poverty. The poverty level all over the world, they're working towards that to make sure they try to reduce that. And so the corporation is a government, United States government agency that is set up to help them, to help the United States government to be able to provide assistance to developing country, no country that needs help. But there are certain criteria that require for one to be member, to be certified, to be accepted. There are certain things you have to, there are certain proposals you have to put forward. And so Liberia was able to apply, and apparently it was accepted. But once you accept it into that program, they have standard, they have guidelines. These people have what they call a point system that you have to meet in different categories in order for you to maintain your passing grade as will be. Apparently, Liberia has not been able to do that within the last 2 or 3 years. So now it becomes a very difficult issue for Liberia. In fact, they just had a scorecard and Liberia did not make the grades. Now, they didn't say they were going to drop Liberia off because they have some impacting projects that are going forward right now. So they're not going to just drop Liberia, but these things, they pay attention to these things. And this is a government, America government assistance. And this is not unique to Liberia. This is, and I will tell you the countries that are involved, especially from West Africa, in a few minutes. But let's go on. They said this particular corporation was created by the U.S. Congress in January 2004 with strong bipartisan support. MCC, Millennium Challenge Corporation, has changed the conversation on how best to develop or to deliver smart U.S. foreign assistance by focusing on good policy. Listen to this. Good policy country ownership and result. They give you these money. They give you the money based on the criteria set, and you have applied based on that criteria that is set. People look at it. It's okay. Those that are involved in assessing your credibility, first thing they do. Okay, he's credible, or this country is credible. What do they need? They assess the need that you have provided through the proposal that you put forward as a country, and then they assess that need. It's okay. Have the person this country met the challenges that are required for them to be a member of this? And based on that membership criteria that is set, they tell you how much dollars you're going to get, and what project. You might be able, as a country, you probably come up with all kinds of projects, but then they will select the type of project that they feel is necessary for your country at that particular time. Okay, let's go on. So, they said, okay, MCC provide time-limited grant promoting economic growth, reducing poverty, and strengthening institutions. Okay, let me read that again. The first, they promote economic growth in our country, the country that has been accepted. Now, every country, the country that has been accepted and is on the people programs. Okay, they have to promote the economic growth. Then they reduce poverty, because that's one of the things that qualify that country. Poverty is high. They want to reduce it. Okay. And then strengthen the institution. In Liberia's situation, you have judiciary, you have legislature, and you have executive. Those are the three branches of government we have in Liberia. And of course, I have my own 4-1, Samson total government. Hey, take it or leave it. I said total government. I need my own. What wrong with you? But anyway, on a very serious note. So now, in the judiciary, for example, the people provide money to strengthen that institution. In the executive, they provide money for other executive projects that will impact the life of the people of Liberia. One of them is the water and sewer company, water and sewer corporation. The LEC electro over there in I don't call it whatever area. I think West Point something. I don't know. I've been forgetting that. I went to school in that area, but I forget it now. Anyway, that's not the point. Okay, so those are the things they provide for the government. They also provide money for legislature purposes, so that these people, the institution itself, will be stronger. The main thing is, and if you go deep into them, they didn't hide it. They want the country, this country poverty to be reduced, number one, and then strengthen the institution. And also, if they do that, that also reduces the risk of this country falling into some sort of a conflict. Okay, let's go on. So with that information, okay, this investment not only supports stability, I just told you, stability and prosperity in the partner countries, but also enhance American interest. If this country is stable, America does not have to send its sons and daughters to go fight and die for other countries because they want to maintain peace in those countries. Okay, so this is they're pretty much being proactive. To be honest with you, oh, Liberia, they've been out of war before, and Liberia war. Some of us believe that if it had not been for the first Gulf War, if it had not been for the second Gulf War. The first Gulf War, okay, yeah, whatever. The first Gulf War, if it hasn't been for that, Liberia's situation would not have gotten worse, because I believe America would have stepped in immediately. Okay, but that's besides the point. Okay, so if you go on your website and read, they tell you what they do and how they do it. All right, let me go on to one other important thing I want to point out here, and this one I'm going to have to show it. Okay. This one I'm going to have to show it on my stuff. This is what I want people to pay attention to. I want people to get this point here. Okay, here is the situation in Senegal. They provided money for Senegal, for the Senegal government to do this project. And this is the project that was developed by these people, okay? And when they did this is the project to irrigate the farmland. Senegal, you remember now, Senegal it's getting to be a desert area, but they were able to provide irrigation water to go to different farms and each farmer to plant food, whatever they have to do. These are the kinds of things these people would do. This particular corporation will provide funding for projects that will benefit the people of the country. So it's not unique to Liberia. And I'll get back to that. Why I'm saying this, folks, it's very important for you to understand. It's very important because when I start saying what I'm going to say later on, I don't want you coming to criticize me without understanding why I'm saying what I'm going to be saying. I want you to get this, okay? So here is the stuff for Senegal, okay? This is the irrigation section for Senegal, all right? So let me see. Okay, all right. So the irrigation project, it goes all over in the northern part of Senegal, but it's benefiting a lot of people in that area, in the northern region. In fact, this is the river delta in our area. They divert some of the water from the river and channeling it through to farm communities that by no other means have water and stuff like that. Okay, so this is some of the things these are some of the things they would do. All right. Now, this is not just the country alone that they deal with. Okay, in West Africa, they deal with other countries. The only country in West Africa that I see that was not on that list where we work. Okay, that was not on that list. I believe it was Guinea. Let me see if this would make me some. Okay, here we go. Okay, you see West Africa here. All right. The only country in West Africa that perhaps is not being a part of this challenge cooperation is Guinea and Guinea-Bissau. Okay, right there. Guinea and Guinea-Bissau, they're not part of that program. I'm not too sure why, because I have not done a lot of research on this. I just want people to see the country that are involved. Okay, so you have Mauritania, I believe, is also part of it. You have, but anyway, in West Africa, you have Benin, you have Togo, you have Ghana, you have Ivory Coast, you have Liberia, you have Sierra Leone, you have Mali, you have Senegal. Okay, so these countries are all involved, and they are doing well. So this particular program is not unique to Liberia. This is a program that is worldwide. The American government have found it necessary to support these developing countries. Okay, I explained that already. So let's keep this in mind. Let's keep this in mind. Okay. Now, let me go on to another point here that I want to make. Now we got a clear understanding that the corporation itself is not just to Liberia alone. It's not Liberia because Liberia is a stepchild of America. So, but this is why this is bigger than that. And for some reason, the authorities in Monrovia did not see it as such. And I will tell you why. The president made a statement, and I will play that video. But from the statement, it seemed to me that the president most likely believing that this is just the scoring process itself was not fair to Liberia. So the problem is, if you don't understand this whole process, then perhaps you will have quarrel with the scoring process itself. If you don't understand how this corporation come to be, and Dr. Weir understood that because he would tell you that he himself lobbied hard for the Millennium Challenge to come to Liberia. But at this point of his presidency, for him to make the kinds of statement that was made, I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't comfortable, and I will play that. But before I play that, let's go on. Let's go on. Let's go look at the scorecard. Okay, why they call it scorecard, folks? Samson told LeBron Pabrito. Okay. First, let's look at how to read the scorecard. Okay. Excuse me. Let's look at how to read the scorecard. All right. Here's the scorecard. It said, okay. First thing is it says that every year each MCC candidate country receive a scorecard assigning performer in 3 policy categories: ruling justly, investing in people, and encouraging economic freedom. Those are the 1, 2, 3 categories they have for each of these participants of these countries that participate in this program. These are the categories they have. And based on that category, based on the point score you're going to have, based on the percentage of your point score, will either get you, just like a classroom. You go take a test, what your test result is, the score based on that. It's supposed to be 10 points. If you get 7, then 70 cents. 70 cents. 70%. I'm broke, folk. I need money. 70 cents. 70 cents will take me back to work. 70 cents will take me to Tool Town, to be honest with you. But anyway, let's go on. So you see what I'm saying? Okay. So here they also tell you, they will explain to you, okay? They say indicator names, and I'm not too sure how am I supposed to have this thing blow up. But anyway, just take my word from it. If it's green, most likely you have a good grade. If it's red, bad grade. Now, let's go on, folks. Samson told LeBron Pabrito. Let's go back to scorecards. Okay, so they have here. You see all these countries. They have Zambia, Zimbabwe, Yemen, Vietnam, Venduti. I'm getting ready to sound like Dr. Do, Czechoslovakia, whatever. Ukraine, Uganda, Tanzania, Togo, and so forth. All right, but let's go to the next one, and I will show you where they have Liberia. Liberia is number 5 anyway. Let me go to Liberia. Let's go straight to Liberia, folks. Samson told LeBron Pabrito. Okay, now this is Liberia scorecard, folks, and very interesting. Okay, very interesting. What I told you already, where you have green is the good one, and if you have okay, all right, sorry, all right, here we go. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. I just want you to pay attention to the green and red. Okay, economic freedom. Too bad for us. Economic freedom, fiscal policy. Okay, 38%. Inflation. This is 2020, 2020 scorecard here. Inflation, 23.5%. Not good. But here's the interesting thing. And I'm very happy for this government the government, to be honest with you. And you will hear minister now, when he's doing good, I call him Honorable Minister of Finance. If he's not doing good, I call him Samuel Twe. What you will do to me? But when he's doing good, I praise him. If he's not doing good, I will call his name Samuel Twe. But in this case, you will hear Honorable Twe explaining exactly the kinds of way that I want Honorable Twe to perform. And I'm very, very happy to say that this evening that Honorable Twe was performing real well. But I will show you the video. But anyway, let's go on. So okay, ruling justly. I told you there are three categories they have, right? One was economic freedom, ruling justly, investment in people. Okay, in the economic freedom, we only have 2 green, as you can see at the bottom. Not good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we only have 2 green. So we got 6, 8. We got only have 2 out of 8, and we flunked that one. Okay, let's go. Let's go to ruling justly. Political rights. And this one with Dr. Weah and his people continue, except for this blemish they have with this student demonstration the other day. Everything else, they have done a wonderful job. Political rights, okay, they scored 27 points. Good. 88%. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Civil liberties, okay, they got 35 points. Good. 83%. Wonderful. Wonderful, Dr. Weah. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, sir. Okay. Control of corruption. Wow. Wow. Now, what would be the thing? And Honorable Tua touched on that. And this is where, when I start playing Honorable Tua video, I will start using the word. Most of the language that I'm going to be using, the dominant one will be tiny sedition. And I will tell you why. Okay. But here's the third one here. Control of corruption. Oh, my goodness. 52%. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, let's go. Government ineffectiveness. Ugh, that's not good. They still doing something. They need to get on with it. 31%. We flunked that one. Rule of law. Okay. We could have gone if it was 51. Would have gotten something. Rule of law. We're doing a little bit. We got 50%, but they still consider flunking great. Freedom of information. Freedom of information. Samson Toys has his own podcast on Liberian Public Radio. I can talk about anything about Liberia. And people in Liberia can get on Facebook anytime and talk about anything. They can go. Now, the idea of freedom of information, then you got it right. You can go places to get information. And I'm happy about that. 83%. Good. Now, we're going back to economic freedom. Okay. Gender in the economy, the women process in this economy of Republic of Liberia is not good. We flunk that one. We flunk it big time. Land rights and access, we flunk that too. People in Totan stealing my land. I got D. I'm going to go to Totan. They must say we're rocket. I got D. 1973D, and the people that say because I've been in America too long, I'm not from Total. That one number one more, you know. He said to over you. Can we have Chloe must go? We are one blue and G in you. I'm okay. I'm about Samson to. I'm being very honest. The people say I've been in America too long, so I have no right in for land in my fatherland. You're crazy. Land issue in Liberia. It's a bit we flunk that one because the government is not addressing that. Okay, let's go on to the economic side and then we'll finish with access to credit. They believe that access to credit, Liberians have getting access to credit 53%, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And here's the other one: business start up. And somebody will complain earlier that they took business to Liberia and people eat that money. Yeah, I don't know about that one. But anyway, business startup, they said 64%. We got green on both of them. Access to credit and business startup, we got green. Good. Thank you, Mr. President. All right. Investing in people. This is 2020 now. Investing in people. Health expenditure. We passed that. Primary education. We flunk it. Now, this is the point now that people are suggesting that the reason why we're flunking the education part because Dr. Weah made a statement a long time ago that education doesn't matter if they're capable or not available, they're available or capable, you know, that kinds of stuff. And so people are trying to tie that around it, that they are not paying attention to education. Now that's for me to be saying. I can argue myself, but I'm not going to touch that. Okay. Natural resource protection. True. The gold and diamond resources in Liberia are not being protected the way they're supposed to. I'm not too sure why. I'm not going to make any kinds of judgment on that right now. But those are things, timber, diamond, gold. The government need to protect your access. These are mineral resources for all Liberians, all of us. And there are some Liberians that are not getting the benefit of those resources right now. All right, let's move on. Okay. So, excuse me. Immunization rates. We passed that because they're giving people injection. And you know, when I was little, back in Totem, folks, I got my shoulder. But if you're Liberian, you know how they're supposed to know about Liberian birthright. If you're Liberian, they should take you on both shoulders. Those of us that were born from the 60s, oh, did I say 60? I mean, those of us that were born from the 80s, because I was born 1980, I'm not going to say 60. But anyway, from that period up to a certain time, people have a mark on both shoulders, on both sides of their shoulders, because this is where they used to give people injection. So they shouldn't even do birth certificate. They should just come say, let me see your shoulder. You should mark on your shoulder, you're Liberian citizen. Because every Liberian that was born at that time, in mid-60s, and from that point on, they all had the mark. So anyway, let's go on. Then the girl peer education, we flung that one. We're not educating women because some of us, our parents, then believe they can make it. For example, I will use myself. For example, my dad believed that all the girls he had, the girls' children he had, will go and marry. The dowry money will be able to buy, will give me a beautiful woman myself, because the dowry money you use from your sisters, you use that dowry money to go and get wife for your children, your sons. So there's no reason, no need of girl going to school. That was a belief. I'm not making it up. That was a belief. That was a belief. Okay? I don't agree with it. You think my daughter here, but you know, I will let men pay, so I will use the money to buy a woman for extra, please. But you're not going to be a medical doctor, and nobody going to stop it. Nobody going to stop it. Man, no man. She will be educated, and any man you want her, if you're not educated, I tell you, say, we want you. I will make the choice. Yeah, you will? Yeah, I will. Okay. Samson. Folks, I'm having fun already, please. But anyway, let's go on. Child health, we also flung that. So those are the areas that were not satisfactory for us this time around. Okay? This time around. I don't want to waste too much time to go and compare Liberia with other countries. I can do all of those things because here you can do that. But I don't want to take the time to do that right now. Okay? So now that I've shown you why they said Liberia has flunked, let's go to the video itself, folks. Samson told Liberian Public Radio. Okay? The information that was passed on, the fact that Liberia did not make. Oh, son, Nelson told, welcome, my son. I appreciate it. Yeah. The president, the finance minister will tell us later. We'll deal with that. Nelson told, welcome. Excuse me. But anyway, so this is the reason why. These are some of the things that I just gone through here. These are some of the reasons why Liberia did not make the grade. However, Liberia is still there, but the president took it hard. And his statement, as a father of the nation, the statement was not diplomatic. Let's put it this way. The statement was also took this whole program, in my opinion, for granted. This program, in order for you to do good, you have to work. You have to work. And the only reason why I'm happy, because after the president's statement, you will also hear the finance minister try to smooth it out. And I like that. That's his job. I like that. That's a good one. But anyway, let's listen to the president. You know, I also have in my own community a president. I'm not going to call his name. So president of one of my community, he's one of my community leaders in one of those section organizations. I'm not going. We got three districts from Grand Union, so you don't know who. But anyway, this particular young man, when he get up to speak, He started speaking good, but when he said, you know what, let me tell you one thing. As soon as he said, let me tell you one thing, you'll get out of the way, because everything else, it coming out. He didn't know how to sugarcoat anything. Once he said, let me tell you one thing, he said, first thing, this is how he started. He said, you know what? Let me tell you one thing. They done. As soon as he said that, then the diplomatic part is out. He coming out. And so Dr. Weir reminded me about this young man when he started speaking. So let's listen to Dr. Weir. And I think this is not how the father of the land, who has lobbied so hard for this program, to address the international community in such a way. I thought it was very low. There's no reason for it. Liberia will always survive. In Liberia, whether on Dr. Weir or whatever president we have, Liberians are good people. But for Dr. Weir to come out and make such a statement, but I'm glad the finance minister came back later and smooth it out. But let's listen to Dr. Weir, please. Sam Sinto, LeBron Public Radio.
Before I announce the groundbreaking to open it, let me state my own personal views and with the MCC. You know, every time as a leader, when you sit with the MCC and they give you a scorecard, I want to tell you that you're supposed to get 10 points and you got 8. That means you tried. It doesn't mean that you pass for it. So sometimes I ask for 10 points and you get 8. It's not a passing grade. It should be a passing grade. But it still say we failed. But what I want to say here is very important, and I want Manaelo, I want your team to know that when you have a student in class that are trying every day to pass, and you have 10 questions, and just a little error, because you know that person is constantly doing your best, sometimes you overlook these things. But in my quest for leadership, I didn't know that I was going to be president of this country. And I become a champion of the MCC based on the Liberian people. When I saw the leaders and team of the MCC in the corridor of the Senate, I thought it was a perfect occasion for Liberians to benefit from that project. We have so many people against because they did not believe that what it was. But for us, we thought that since they are going to bring electricity to us, they are going to help us in our economic issues with what? 20 on the floor versus 2. We stay married that the MCC were constituted, and today the MCC is here. So sometimes I just want you to know that we are champions of MCC because we know what it is. Then I become president only to know that the same MCC that I was fighting for it to come to being for our people, now there's every time the scorecard comes and we get bad grades. Yeah, I don't understand. So maybe that the teacher that comes to class and teach chapter 1, 2, 3, when you're about to give tests, you give tests on chapter 5, 6, 7. Because the only way you can pass that exam, except the chapter 1, 2, 3 that you studied through all the month, and you're going to take the test, they give you that identical chapters, definitely you're going to pass. So I want to say that if we were taught the chapter 1, 2, 3, please don't give the test in chapter 5, 6, 7. We need a paradigm shift in the MCC. And am I disappointed? No, I'm not disappointed in the MCC. I got hope because I believe that the MCC it is a good thing for Liberia and it can help us. But we need a paradigm shift so we can work together, so at least our passing grade can be of use to us. Because I did not go to university to stay in school for the rest of my life. And that's why I was doing homework and what have you. So if we get homework to do, if we get courses to take, please give her the extra study class and let teacher be there so we can make our effort. But I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your effort. I want to thank you for your understanding. And I want to thank you for your support.
Folks, there you have it. That was Dr. Weir. And in this statement, having teacher being present and teaching us, giving us courses, chapter 1, 2, 3, and then giving us tests on 7. So I thought that was wrong. There was no reason to make fun of this decent program. This program has benefited. Liberians are benefiting from this program. Number one. Secondly, those who are charged to make sure that we're successful as a country, those are the people that Dr. Weir need to chastise, and not to chastise the program itself. Because when you get in public and say, I lobby for this program, and yet to find out that I'm a leader and the people giving me bad grades, well, this program, if you truly championed this program, which I believe you did, but I think it would have been better for us to study this program, what exactly we're getting ourselves into. These people have criteria, and the criteria are set not just for Liberia. And you can't say because you didn't meet the challenge, therefore you think it's the people that gave these scores their fault of not giving you the thing you study for, the thing that they told you to do, you were doing it, and then they come and break. No, that's not how it works. They have no reason. They have no reason to trap you. They have no reason to come and give you information or faulty information. And that's what Dr. Weir is suggesting. So as a father of the nation, if you're going to approach these type of situation, they must be done with sincerity. Those who are responsible to make sure that Liberia meet the challenge itself for the cooperation are those that need to be chastised by Dr. Weir. He should find out why did we not make the grades. What happened? And these people have given you tools to work with. Instead, we have Dr. Weir making fun of it. And people were laughing. Then Liberians ourselves, we ourselves, we're not taking this thing serious. And these people are putting money into Liberia. McCarthy, they're there now, right now. The water is getting, in fact, he went over there to do the water stuff. Electricity. These are taxpayer, American people, taxpayer money coming to Liberia to help us. And here we have a president of the Republic of Liberia making fun of it. That is not right. That is not decent. If those who are advising the president continue to do damage to the office of the president, because I think if the president he can't just get out and make a statement like that. I'm sure there must have been a discussion. Even if it was said in a joking manner, the president should have been told not to make that statement. Thank you, Mr. The corporation. We want to appreciate all that you have done by you giving us the grace here tonight or today to say that we didn't do well. We assure you come next year, we will improve on on whatever area that we're weak. Just have in mind. And then you blame the war if you want to put funk into it. We're just coming out of the war situation. We're still not having, some of us have not gotten our footing on the ground yet. We're doing our best. So please, continue to work with us. That's how you tell people to help you. You can say next time when you're ready to give us test, please give us the test that we study on. That your business, whether you flunk or not, they give you the criteria. You, as a country, must meet that criteria. And this is not just something that I take lightly. Because I went through this thing, I did some serious reading. There are people that are involved. Credible people that are involved. They are not going to pour a wolf over your eyes. This program, go to Sierra Leone, go to Ghana, go to Ivory Coast, go to Senegal. Guinea-Bissau is not in there. Guinea itself is not in there. Okay? Excuse me. So for us to have this president, our president, to come and make fun of this kinds of stuff, I thought was very low. And I was hoping that the president will, next time, not make comments like this, especially when it comes to the economic situation of Liberia. And that's why a lot of people saying that he didn't take it serious. In fact, the statement he made, that he was not disappointed. Other people took that to be condescending. But for me, it means I'm not disappointed. I will work hard. I thought that was coming next. I'm not disappointed. But we will do our best to improve the situation. That would be the statement. But we didn't get that from our father, the father of the land. And now I'm a little bit not disappointed, but I'm discouraged. And I'm hoping that the president will learn from this and this become a teachable moment for all of us, so that at least these kinds of, because you, Mr. President, whether you know it or not, you're the father of the nation. When you speak for us, you speak for every Liberian. So you can't come out and make a statement like this that you make out to study chapter 1, 2, and 3, and then you give a test on 6, 7, 5, 6, and 7. No, that's not how it works. They tell you what they want. They give you 3 criteria. And those criteria have not changed. All you need to do is work on it. If you don't understand it, ask for help. I'm sure these people will be willing to help you. They're not going to pour money in there without being able to help. Because the intent result for which they pour in taxpayer money into Liberia is for Liberia to be successful. Because they don't have no benefit in trying to make you to flunk. You flunk because you wanted to flunk. You flunk because you people who you assigned to do these things were being lazy. So there's no reason for you to come back and blame the people who are helping you. It's just not right. I'm very, very much against it. I don't like the statement the president made. This is one of the low points, as far as I'm concerned, of Dr. Weah's speeches, because he has the ability to warm up to people. He has the ability to bring good vibrant but that was very low. This was low. However, I told you already, if I don't like things he says, then I say Samuel Tour. But if he's doing something good, then I call him Honorable Tour. Now let's listen to Honorable Tour. Folks, you know me, I don't hide it. I think the president, in fact, he also need to take Malorian challenge classes, maybe, and then improve on that. No, but to be serious, on a very serious note, people who are in charge of this president, when he gets in public, how to make statement, what statement coming out, those people refuse to do their job. I'm not saying Dr. Weah is not capable of making statement for himself. But whatever statement that is made, especially in this situation, is going to be tied to the next loan or next investment. We did this year, and they flung. What did the president say? People are going to interpret that, and they're going to provide some sort of a paperwork. This is the president's statement, and they look at it. Well, what does he mean by it? He studied chapter 1, 2, and 3, and we give him tests on 5, 6, and 7. What is he talking about? You can't have the president of the Republic of Liberia get in public to make public statement in a grand opening of something that's going to benefit many Liberians. And you have the president coming talking about chapters 5, 6, and 7. They give you criteria. 3. I read that already. 3 criteria that is set. I got 3, but I put up 4 fingers. Okay? They give you 3 criteria set. And you couldn't make those. So they didn't give you chapter 6, 7, and something. They gave, before you got involved, they told you what the criteria were. And again, it's not the president's responsibility, and that's why he has people that he trusts to work in this area. I bet you, the person in charge of the malaria challenge in Liberia, my captain, he's a Liberian. If these people have gone to him and said, we want to make good grades next time, what is it exactly that we need to do? He will explain to them, because that's what they want. They don't want anybody flunking out. Because here's what you probably don't know. If a country flunk out and get kicked out, that means the people who are running the corporation are not doing their job either. So it's not in their interest to see you flunk and get kicked out, because they want to show success to the United States Congress so that United States Congress can put more money in there. When people this thing, it's not right at all. We need to, and we all of us are not doing this president a good job either, because we have to. And this is why I say, those of you that are closer to the president, you can't criticize him on this and try to wrap it around as to be the next election campaign slogan. No, then you're wrong. Explain to the president the importance of this program, and that the president should do everything in his power so that Liberia will be successful. Don't wish for him to fail in this process, because if you wish the president to fail, we get kicked out, what happened? You think that we are going to get kicked out? No, the whole country. So you cannot wish for this president to make these kinds of mistakes or make these kinds of statements so that Liberia will look bad, and therefore making you opposition looking good. Then you're failing yourself. This is the time we put arms around each other and say, this is how it's supposed to be done. There are people who have done, in fact, Samuel 12 will come, I'll bring him on here. I'll bring a video so you can hear. He himself has been involved. So I'm sure he was a little bit disappointed. Perhaps he was not involved in coaching the president when he was going to make this statement. So once again, I just want to caution all of us, if we're going to criticize, and mine is not criticism. I'm a little bit discouraged, but it's not just a mere criticism. I thought that, and I told you, I have a individual in my own community. He's one of the leader, one of the young leader, dynamic leader as well in my neck of the wood. But whenever the young men stand up, you start saying good thing. Everybody clapping. But when you get to a certain point, you know why? Let me tell you one thing. Then we're done. Once the man say, let me tell you one thing, it's coming out. Nothing you're going to do. And exactly what happened here. When he said, before I go breaking the ground, let me say this. That means he's completely off script. And I think this is where a good handler, somebody who love Dr. Weah, somebody who want to see Dr. Weah, going to have to impress upon Dr. Weah. You in this type of situation, you can't go off script. Because those people that are giving us the loan, they're not from Toad Town. Some of them from Iowa. Some of them from Texas. Some of them from the deep red state that they consider Africa as, whole country. So they don't care whether you're successful or not. But you have to make the blue state that are represented in this process, giving you the loan, make them proud, give them something to argue for you to continue to get the loan. By not flunking. By not making them feel like you got nothing to offer. All right. Let me I don't like when people make folks do whatever you want to do, but your statement is your statement, it's your belief. I can't change that. That's fine, right? Say whatever you want to say, okay? But that's not my intent. That's not my intent. Whatever you're saying here, that's your opinion. That's not my intent. I'm not here to degrade anybody. I'm not here to say this person know this person. That's not the point. That's not the point. We all have done that. Who among us have not made mistake before? Tell me. Tell me. You think the position Dr. Weah is serving, you think that small position, you know how many pressure, how much pressure cooker the young man in every day? You're thinking to sit down to be president of the Republic of Liberia, a small thing? Even these little organizations here in the diaspora to be president, you know how many bullets you sweat every day to be the leader of a Liberian community? You know how much trouble you go through? Then let alone to be a president of the Republic of Liberia, where everybody Dick and Tom Samson told team said they can be president, they can do better than you. You think what Dr. Weah is doing, you think that's a small job? Let us be sincere sometimes. You take any of these political opposition right now, put them in there, they will do the same thing. Why are you making all that noise for? You come out here and write all kind of junk. I'm not even going to read it. By the way, let me go on. So I'm just saying here this evening, to be honest with you, I'm a little bit discouraged with the statement. Excuse me. All right. Let me go on now, folks. Samson told Liberian Public Radio. Let me go on to Honorable Twe. Honorable Twe. Now, this is why I will come in now and call people small, tiny sedition. And here's the reason why. The program itself is a big 1 hour plus. Randy Shea of Front Page Africa was doing most of the talking, interviewing. And the reason I'm going to be using the word small sedition, because small sedition, there are people that want that can go and insult Randy Shea, call him a yellow journalist or whatever, have no respect for whatever he's doing. And I continue to argue, and I will continue to argue, and I've said it before, and I will say it again. What happened here, the video that I'm about to show you is a decent video. But Randy Shea, my point has always been, Randy Shea must be involved. Not so much of trying to please him, but you explain your situation to people that Randy Shea, they will write it for you. You can't go on Facebook and do this, how do you call it, fact and fiction, and you think you're talking for the Republic of Liberia. It ain't happening. Honorable Twe, listen to this explanation. I got about 3 videos I'm going to be playing here for you. 2 of them, the same setting though, but 2 of them. One has to do with Access Declaration. One has to do with Dr. Weah building houses. And Honorable Twe was able to address them. With Randy Shea. Randy Shea, who people consider to be not in favor of CDC government at all. But guess what? The tiny sedition, you're not winning. People, I've been telling you that the best way to go about this thing is to have people that run this shit that you consider to be the bigger critics to interview you, to express yourself to them. It means you got nothing to hide because you'll be tough. Now listen to the question that comes out of Randy Shea. How much he tried to pack so much into that one question. It's unbelievable. But I love it. I love it because you're not hiding from Randy Shea and Front Page Africa. Let's listen now as Honorable Toer try to address this Millennium Challenge issue. Question put to him by Randy Shea. Folks, this is what I expect, and this is what I really, really enjoy. Because if the government of the Republic of Liberia continue to do these type of interview, continue, even if you don't believe it, but the mere fact that they will send somebody to defend it, whatever action that you're accusing them of, they're defending it. I'm not saying you agree with them, but now you're going to listen. By listening to them, they're explaining, not being angry, not being insulting, not being condescending, but giving you explanation what they believe their explanation is. Now, it's left for you to make your own judgment. The other information that comes out, facts and friction, I don't even watch it because there's nothing there. They have not that particular segment by my friend Eugene Fakan. He's not giving us anything for us to make our own judgment. He's giving us what he considers facts. And he gave it to us in a way that we have no choice but to accept his facts. And Liberians are educated. You can't fool them. You can't put words in your mouth. Give them something to argue about. Give them something to disagree with you, so that at least you will be credible. And this is what Ronnie Shea has brought on this table. And I appreciate. You know how I call Ronnie Shea? I call him double-edged sword. Because 1 minute, if it's for you, he's writing. If something against you, he's writing. He don't care who it is. And we need that in Liberia. If we're going to fight against corruption, we need that in Liberia. If we're going to fight against poverty, we need that in Liberia. Because you will not just write something. You will write, and people will say, oh, today when he write good thing for you, yeah, Ronnie Shea is a good journalist. Tomorrow when he writes anything bad, but he's a yellow journalist, man. What are you talking about? That's good. Let's listen in. Samson told LeBron Public Radio, folks.
Let's go to the issue that's been on the weekend more dominant, is the issue of the Millennium Challenge corporation accounts. Mm-hmm. They came out with a scorecard for 2020.
That's correct.
And they announced Liberia didn't do too well. And the GO that responded to Mika through a press release yesterday. Mm-hmm. And it seems to be more concerned about the perception about public corruption. Mm-hmm. What is being done to reduce that high perception?
So we in the government are challenged to counter this and to change public perception of that. This is where the Millennium question, the eligibility scorecard. Liberia passed control of corruption this year. Liberia has passed control of corruption in the last 3, 4, 5 years. You know, when I work with the compact, we develop it, we're passing. But the trend is that we need to do more to protect our pass next year. This score this year, we passed 8 out of 10. Last year, we passed 8 out of 10. Last year, we passed inflation, and this year we failed inflation because of where it is. But last year we failed expenditure, and this year we passed expenditure, so there was a swap. I can tell you that next year we're going to pass more than 10 indicators. There were some gains we made that were not reflected this year. For example, the passage of the Domestic Violence Act, and there's some technical issues regarding these that we're working on data quality, so changes will be made.
Let's go to the issue that's been on the weekend more dominant, is the issue of the Millennium Challenge corporation accounts. Mm-hmm. They came out with this.
There you have it. There you have it, folks. You heard Honorable Toer explaining. This is the kinds of explanation that I really hope that Dr. Weir didn't bother about making comment. He should have just said, thank you, let's open it up, let me dedicate this place and get out of here. And then left that kinds of explanation with people like Honorable Tua to do that. Honorable Tua just told us that there are certain indications, many indications, that they didn't do well in, and he's hoping that they will do well next time. This is how you address that, because you're giving the people the opportunity to say, look, we're not dumb, we understand, and you have the right to give us the grade you're giving us, because you're the professor, that's fine. But we hope to study next time. You don't go take a test and you flunk the test, then you tell the professor, say, hey, you're going to give me test next time? Try to give me test or something I study, yeah? What do you think this is? Town school? I beg you, man. All right, let's go on. Let's go on. That's Honorable Tua. Let me play that again. I want people to clearly see that. Then I will go on to the other one. Let me play that again. Listen to Honorable Tua as he tried to massage the feeling, the process of feeling this corporation challenge. But he did it in a way that will make the people that are giving this loan to say, okay, these people are trying. Let's stick with them. And not Dr. Weir's statement to say, we studied chapter 1, 2, and 3, and you get a test in chapter 5, 6, 7. And that kind of statement that you say that and say, well, okay, you're not Syria. Bye-bye. You're not the only country in Africa that's suffering. But let's listen to Honorable Tua again, please.
Scorecard 2020.
That's correct.
And announced Liberia didn't do too well. And the GO that responded to MICAT to a press release yesterday. And it seems to be more concerned about the perception about public corruption. What is being done to reduce that high perception?
So we in the government are challenged to counter this and to provide, change public perception of that. This is where the millennium question, the eligibility scorecard. Liberia passed control of corruption this year. Liberia has passed control of corruption in the last 3, 4, 5 years. You know, when I work with the compact, we develop it, we're passing. But the trend is that we need to do more to protect our pass next year. This score this year, we passed 8 out of 10. Last year, we passed 8 out of 10. Last year, we passed inflation, and this year we failed inflation because of where it is. But last year, we failed expenditure, and this year we passed expenditure, so there was a swap. I can tell you that next year, we're going to pass more than 10 indicators. There were some gains we made that were not reflected this year. For example, the passage of the Domestic Violence Act, and there's some technical issues regarding these that we're working on data quality, so changes will be made.
Let's go to the...
Folks, that the second time. But what for me, what table is credibility, to be honest. It's the front page Africa. And people Tiny CD believe he's credible. I do. I'm not Tiny Sedition. I'm going to play you the whole program. If you video is very interesting. Some of the explanation gave, because I don't think he goes, and the seem like, and maybe I'm wrong. It seemed to me that CDC people in CDC, they like to mix, and you know how when you making statement, you thread in line. To me that these seditions, most of them, it seemed to me, I could be wrong, that they will make a statement and would leave a gap within the statement, and hoping that you will be fill in the gap to suit what they're saying. And it's difficult sometimes if you do that, you yourself as someone who's making a gap, asking for more issues, because they're going to fill that gap, going to fill see fit. And these Minister Tua, they were jumping. It seemed like he has so much in mind that when he started there quick and jumping point here and they're not being connected. Maybe I'm wrong, folks. I in there, folks. All right, let's listen to this. Minister Tua now going to us with the issue of Dr. We are building house and how people into that. We're going to explain to us houses that is being built or that was already but the way it's supposed to be. Who am I to say what it's supposed to be? Let's listen in as deal with this issue of Dr. Weir houses, building or build houses. Let's listen. It's very interesting how he tried to mold this conversation. Is there because they know right one they've been writing about this thing. It was for him for what to say. Good, yeah. I asked this question. Let me respond to you. And I like. I'm not too sure if the. But the mere fact that Mr. Tua is looking straight in the eyes of and said, let's talk about this. Okay? This is explained to us that we are building houses and other ministers in government. Let's watch this. And it also has to do with interesting subject.
An average man wakes up in the morning and all he hears is the news of high-rise structures constructed by the president. What's restraining members of the executive branch, for example, from publishing their assets and which make it more significant? I mean, I think that will boost the economy and international perception of Liberia anyway.
Okay, so you see, we're in a world of perception, and so without evidence, and we're talking about things that may not be factual. The unfortunate thing is that the people who don't have this information are the ones who are. So let's say the perception on buildings going up. All right. Somebody is saying that because the president built, so the government is corrupt. Let me say this, Rodney. This president has overcommitted. I can use that word. He's overcommitted government resources to the extent that there is nothing really significant for anybody to take. The president declared tuition free. He's paying WAEC. He came in, he took 7-8 million and gave to LEC for debt. He's 12 million that was available to do something else, he used it and pay health workers. By the time you add all of those things, you're talking around 26 million US dollars that this government does not have control over to spend anyway. So it took 26 million and lock it in a way, what we call non-discretionary spending. You can't do anything about the 2,000 people you're paying because you assigned 12 million there. You can't do anything much about free tuition because you're spending some 3 million now. You can't do anything about WAEC because those students paying WAEC fee. That 2 million multiplied by 6 is a 12 million investment that the previous government had. This president doesn't have that. With all of these commitments, and on top of that, commitment on new military hospital, all of the roads projects, okay, that we did, you take all of that, you're talking an additional 25 million. What are you? So the argument that George Manuel Weah puts up a building, and so it means the country is corrupt, that George Manuel Weah has never had the money to do so, and he started constructing these things. It's unfair for that to be the reason why somebody is saying there's corruption. Because when you ask for the evidence on corruption, it is not there. When we talk about governance systems we can have the conversation about improving governance, but you cannot say that the public is financing the president.
An average man wakes up in the morning.
Folks, did you see how? And he's saying this. This government, I put so much money into other areas, the people's lives, that there's not enough for the president to use to build houses. So for people to come out to say the people of Liberia is financing the president, then I think he's suggesting that this is not right and it's unfair. But what he didn't tell us is to say, okay, this question you ask is important. Asset declaration. He didn't tell us that the president declared certain amount. And I'll come to that. And his reasoning of this asset declaration is so interesting and so important. It's unbelievable, folks. If you miss these tonight, you're missing something. You go and research this video and you'll see it. Okay? So he's suggesting that, yes, the president has built, he didn't deny it. But what he's suggesting is that the president has spent $25 million that he had paid WIAC and what have you. So out of the budget, he didn't say how much was in the budget from which the president have taken $25 million, and then the rest to say, okay, we have $100 million, 25 million from there, we got 75 left. And out of the 75, we got to pay the legislature, we have to pay other government agency and what have you. So here are the stuff. And I don't expect Samuel to come out here and lay it all out. Okay? So basically what he's saying is what I'm telling you. To say that the president have committed himself with more than $25 million. So having had that $25 million spent, he does not have excess after the government expenditure. There's no more excess amount for him to go and take money to buy private properties. Basically, that's what he's saying. And that's very interesting. That's very interesting because we never heard that before. Okay? So let's go now to this next one. And that's also very interesting. The next one I'm going to be showing you has a very, very interesting dynamic as well. Here, he's going to tell us it's not the matter of people don't want to declare access. But listen to Minister Twe, how he tried to frame access declaration to that of securities of those who are supposed to declare access. Their access declaration, how is it that if they do that, how would they affect them within the community? Folks, these things are very interesting. This part, and this is why I thought those who made the arrangement to have this conversation with Randy Shea, because it's Front Page Africa that have always written about, but put something out about these type of stuff. And so to have the Front Page Africa editor-in-chief himself to do the interview, which of course he's going to go back later and listen to the program himself. I thought it was very interesting. Let's listen to this. Samson told LeBron Public. This is a doozy tonight, folks. Let's listen to this.
You take me, for example, I've seen my house. I was making $7,000 as Minister of Finance. At the Minister of Finance back in 2014, 2012 or so, right? When I started working with the Millennium Challenge Corporation. I started my house in 2014. Everybody in, so people can tell me, the people can kind of look at your home and tell and say, they may have started building your house 2014. I went to the African Development Bank.
Don't you think by declaring assets,
we have declared assets. So there's another misconception here. Every government worker, I mean, most public officials now, with the latest, they have declared their asset. The public has access to this information through the process. The whole idea of the law does not require that you publish your asset. You can do so voluntarily, but the law doesn't mandate the law. And the question that you have to ask, Rodney, why did the previous government write a law that didn't mandate officials for the access to be made public? Do we understand why? Well, why did they do so? Now, the question that begs is that, okay, we want this government to change that. Let me tell you something. We live in a very politicized society now, such that there are serious risks for that. And I've also shared that with the fund in our discussions on some of the governance things. You take an assistant minister, an honest person, living on his 3,000 or so money every month. This person could be a very frugal person, save his money, doesn't spend much. If you allow that person bank account, say he has $30,000 in his bank to become public, everybody in his community who come to him and say, my daughter's sick, he say, I don't get money. They tell him, say, you get $30,000 in your bank account, we saw it. The whole society is going to be like that. I don't think that's the intention of asset declaration, because I mean, basically your entire bank information will be in the public. There's security implications, there's pressure. It's almost like you're walking naked. I don't think that's what the intent is. The intent is that where there is suspicion, you have a process to go to access Samuel Twer's asset. So anybody who wants to do so, going through that process, you will see my declared asset.
The process is not that simple.
Okay, so what the question we're doing in this IMF program as part of governance is to simplify that process. Not to say anytime a government official declare his asset, put all the data all around for no. It's to say when you want access that, let's simplify the process. Those are the reforms that we're talking about. But you can't say, if somebody who get 10,000, as soon as somebody sees somebody with 10,000, but who went 3 more, the person said, that corrupt man. That man so corrupt, he got 10,000 in his account, and he can't tell me, say he get money from stealing the people money. That the whole country is going to be ungovernable like that. I don't think it's fair, and so there's no fear of people declaring the asset. I mean, most of the people who've done investment, people, yeah. But if you want to see my asset, go through the process. I go and go look for you and see access to it. You see how much money you've made. You see how much money I've made at the bank. You see the property. You see it. There's nothing to hide. But you take me for example. I've seen.
Folks, that is the explanation from Honorable Twer about assets declaration. He's simply trying to tie that into securities of those who are supposed to declare their access. He's simply trying to suggest here tonight that if you ask me to declare an access and I have $30,000 in my bank account and I put it out there, the public know that I have $30,000. So say my cousin, my auntie, daughter, whatever, whoever family member, or even friends come and ask me, I say, I got money. They say, oh, but we just saw $30,000 in your account. That also becomes a security risk for that individual. And I think these are things that they make sense, considering our adequate society. It makes sense. However, but what he's doing now is to educate. This is what I've been calling for all along. Minister Twer and his people believe what he just stated. But meaning Liberia never heard this before. These are the kind of arguments they make among themselves to justify of not making these things public. But if you come out and make this kinds of declaration in public and argue your point, even if I don't agree with it, I might see one or two things that make sense. Instead of me just saying, oh, the people don't want to declare asset because they've been stealing. If you're not explaining to me, why can't I make that conclusion? Why can't I come to that conclusion? That you don't want to declare your assets because when you're stealing, tomorrow when you leave, so we don't know what you have. But he's saying, first thing he's saying, I'm not too sure how true that is. That is not law. It's not binding. I'm not too sure how true that is. So I'm not going to go there because I'm not a lawyer. However, if you declare assets and everybody starts seeing how much you have, considering our society, considering the poverty level among us, and some of the people are mean. They don't want to share anything. And so what they don't want you to know how much they have. However, he's saying there's a process now that if you want to find out how much they have, there's a process you have to go through instead of making it all over the internet. Because I bet you, and which makes sense, folks. Let's be sincere. If Minister Twer was to put out his asset declaration tomorrow, by noon tomorrow, it will be all over the internet. All over Facebook. What's the purpose of that? What is the reason of us, citizens, to make sure somebody's access is being announced because he's working for the government? because he's working for the government, does it mean that he doesn't have any privacy anymore? So, but here's the thing. And that's why I really appreciate this particular interview. And I think the government need to do more of this thing. Randy Shea, the Daily Observer, people who you consider to be enemy of the state, you call them and have a press conference, have one-on-one conversation, 1 hour, 2 hours. It doesn't matter. They don't have to agree with you, but that you have availed yourself for scrutiny. And that's all it is. That's all it is. And I thought that I'd take these two or three segments from the. There are many more. I'm going to be cutting them up. I'm going to be splitting them so I can continue to play them. Very interesting. Very interesting. And the fact that they were able to bring this information up to Randy Shea from Pay Africa. And from Pay Africa, to be honest with you, for you tiny sedition that continue to cause people and call Front Page Africa name and what have you. You see how much Front Page Africa is doing for you now. Tiny sedition. I don't believe you're calling journalist a yellow journalist right now. Because your champion, your political gladiator, as you call him, he have availed himself to Randy Shea to be questioned. Then the tiny sedition gonna start causing people. Then you're not being serious. Okay? So, folks, I'm going to go ahead now and put the phone number up here. If you have time, give me a call. And let me know what do you think about my presentation tonight, first of all. And the second thing is, let me know if I'm missing the mark. What exactly am I missing here? Samson told LIBERIA Public. Yes, my number, 916-533-2048.
Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because you see me in papa. Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because I will on donga. We not build it, but we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. We not build it, we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. I go, back then I go. In the buildings on me. Back then I go. In the buildings on me.
Again, folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. I got more of those things, but I'm going to call it short here tonight. Once again, I want you to understand something quickly, and that is the intent of this program. Usually, it's not to degrade. I just want to point out something to all of us. Now, don't tell me that you guys have not heard tiny sedition calling Randy Shea yellow journalist before. But yeah, he is here tonight. Bringing credibility to the discussion. And this is what we continue to suggest to you people. That people like Randy Shea, even if I were a member of the CDC, I would suggest that some of the ministers go on Henry Costa's show. Go on Henry Costa's show and let's see what facing. What are you gonna say? All of y'all know English. What Henry Costa gonna say? He accused you of something you demonstrated to him, just like he. Listen to the question Randy Shea was. You see how much he packed into that question. From the beginning, Minister Tua seemed to be kind of a little bit agitated from the beginning, but he quickly realized, no, I'll keep the cool. I will answer the question as it's supposed to be. And by doing so, unless Randy Shea going to come back tomorrow and say, oh, Minister Tua answered this, but here's some of the information that he left out. Okay? But you have to face these people. You have to continue to pass the information. Information is very important. The dissemination of information is very important. And if you're going to have my own friend Eugene Falcon coming up and coming with facts and fiction, you turn people off, to be honest with you. You turn people off because you have to, Minister Falcon, if he wants to do that, let him come out. Not the Thursday Minister of Information press conference. No. One-on-one. Just like what Minister Armotoa did. One-on-one. And let's see. And Minister Falcon, he has the ability to handle himself. I interviewed him before. He's not a slash either. Very intelligent. But when you put yourself in a position where you want to say, whatever comes out of me is the truth, and I don't want you to challenge it, then you're not doing yourself a favor. You're not even showing to the people of the Republic how smart you are. Because Liberians are not stupid. So if they see you carrying the line, toting the line, trying to find enemy of the state, this government will survive. This government will succeed. You can't make it with us. That kind of talk. Then you're showing nothing but contempt for the people. And they don't want to listen to you. And guess what? You're showing the people that you're not even quite ready. And here you are, Minister Falcon. You're very smart, intelligent person. But you cover that up with anger. With anger. What people perceive to be anger. You're very smart, intelligent young man. You can hold your own. But you come out with facts and fiction. I don't even watch that anyway. Okay? So I'm just saying here tonight, folks, the 3 segment of the video that I've shown, I think Minister Tue, if he continue, then I'll show you another video the last time, where there were 2 videos I showed you. One was Minister Tue talking to the partners, development partners, and he was very, very polite. But then when he came to Philadelphia, instead of facing the Liberian diaspora, for us, he got no respect for us, that's for sure. He got no respect for us whatsoever. So not only was he condescending, but he pretty much very rude to us. He suggested to us in one of the videos that I show you, if we're trying to harmonize, you must harmonize your beer. And I thought that was very rude. Okay? But here he is tonight, telling people, look, we don't mind having asset declaration. But these things, basically what he's suggesting, if we do these things working for the government, working for the people of the Republic of Life, does not mean that we don't like to work. But that does not negate the fact that we also are private, Liberian citizens who deserve privacy. Who among us would disagree with that? And he already told us, you want to know how much I'm making? You want to know how much I got before coming here? I've already declared my assets. But there are processes involved. But the government itself must avail to the people, tell the people what the process is, so they can follow that. And I'm sure there are rules. For example, if I'm given the opportunity to giving an access to a minister to a access declaration forms or whatever, and I look at it and go in there with a camera, phone camera, and take picture and put it in there, I should be prosecuted. Because the fact that you're declaring access does not mean that asset declaration should be on Front Page Africa, or it should be all over on the internet. No. Those who are responsible to look at my assets, to say, yes, Samson told have, he get Volkswagen. But anyway, let's put it out like he have Volkswagen. So when I'm leaving tomorrow, I don't have Mercedes-Benz. I get Volkswagen account to this office. After 2 years, I'm leaving. I got Mercedes-Benz, I got Lexi, I got all the. Where I get the money from? That's the reason behind that. However, Not because I tell you, say I got vote working, then you should put my vote on picture all over the internet. Folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, let me get out of here tonight. I want to thank. Yeah, well, okay. Folks, again, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. We've been here for quite a while now. And first of all, I want to thank Mr. Nathaniel Cry-Paul and Mr. Alfonso Zionso for helping us out, getting back our tools here that we use at LIBERIA Public Radio. It's not quite there yet. We're trying our best. But the fact that they were able to provide leadership for us to come back on air, we appreciate it. And because this is what LIBERIA Public Radio management would do for the employees. If you have issues and you need to get back on air, they will do all within your power to make sure you get back on air. And Nathaniel Cry-Paul is in Philadelphia. Alfonso is in Rhode Island. I'm here in Sacramento. You know what is distance here? But they were able to put things together and get us going, which I appreciate. Other than that, I got my number up there. I've been on here now for 5 minutes. I got to go, folks. I got to go. I will be back Wednesday. There's so many things that I could have made up. Folks, let me say this one thing before I leave tonight. For those of you that are listening, first of all, I appreciate you guys. Not that you don't have anything to do but to tune into my show, LIBERIA Public Radio, here again tonight. Just to show that not only are you interested in what's come out of my mouth, but that's also show respect. And that I really, really do appreciate, because I'm not paying anybody. It's not like we post something like Neil saying they got their camera people counting how many people, we don't even do that to say we got this many people, therefore we got the kind of commercial and things like that. Nothing like that. Okay? But the mere fact that you tune into us, it shows that you respect us. And for this reason, we will continue to do what we have to do to make sure that the dignity that we have continue to shine through. That we don't come out here and insult people. We don't come out here, those of you family members that are watching, sometimes you have kids with you, that whatever words that comes out of our mouth, that you're not going to close your child ears. So we want to thank you. We want to thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate you guys continue to watch. And thank you very much. But what I want to say here is this. In these type of public forums, those of us that have these podcasts, we have to be very careful, because I strongly believe, and I could be wrong, that these Facebook podcasts were doing serious damage to the Republic of Liberia. These Facebook podcasts that comes out air making statements that perhaps no proof whatsoever. Nobody, none of us trying to find solution to the problems we have. Every day we accusing people. Every day you come on air, who this, what, and this person, this, cussing each other. We're doing some serious damage to our country. These little podcasts that God has given us the opportunity to utilize, we must use them to find solution to our country problems. Yes, the election is coming up. 2020 elections coming up. There are senators that are vying for position to be senator. There are members in your community that are vying for position to be senator. Let's use these opportunities to vouch for each of these people that you know have the ability to lead. We must use these opportunities, these podcasts, to further the interest of Liberia in a positive manner. The Civil War is over. I've always stated, and I will continue to say, the Civil War is over, but the intellectual war has just started. But you cannot get into the intellectual war with being, lying. You cannot get into intellectual war without being an intellectually honest person. Dishonest intellectually is not a good thing. You can't come to these podcasts because you're opposition. And therefore, every little thing you find fault with this government, you try to use it to your advantage. You're not helping us. Let's use the opportunity to move the country forward as a group. If the government make mistake, the leadership is making mistake, and you're going to come on these podcasts, come on the international and insult people. It's a dull person. A person you know nothing. Who are you? This is your leader. Whether you voted for him or not. You can't take back those words. They're there. The intent of me coming on here tonight is not to say Dr. Weir is incapable of leading. I'm playing this video. I played that video so you will understand that this particular aspect, the statement that was made by Dr. Weir, for me was not in place. Who among us have not done something similar stuff like that before? And Dr. Weir is a president. He's a president of a country. President of a country has security guards, has people that drive for him, has people that wash clothes for him, has people that take care of a lot of stuff for him. One of those things that they do for him is to manage his daily activities, including what he says among people. And so when Dr. Weir comes out and make these kinds of statements that we don't agree with, it's not like Dr. Weir is not capable of doing it right, but the people who around Dr. Weir that are responsible must do their work. And those are the people that I'm trying to expose by me showing this. It's not necessarily Dr. Weir alone. So we must be able to understand that we as a people are in this thing together. Dr. Weir and his people fail, we fail. When the Civil War happened, did they only come to Dr. Doe and people alone? No. We learned that one. The country of the Republic of Liberia, we're all in. It's like a boat. We're all in it together. We ought to roll, and get out of this how do you call it? This traffic we're in. We ought to roll, and move up, or we turn the canoe upside down. But you can't swim. It's a big river. And you're going to call Ghanaians to come help you get you out of the river? No. So why even bother? Let's use the opportunity to advance our interest positively. Not individual interest. The interest of the country is much, much more important than all of us, than an individual that is within us. We got young Liberians that are coming. God forbid anything were to happen to you now. What country are you leaving behind for the young Liberians? So basically what we have, we're saying, well, we don't care for the young people. They will come and struggle and build it the way we struggle. Well, because you struggle to get to where you are, does not mean that you should allow, because you have the opportunity to fix it. Fix it. So that the young people that will come, they can stand on some foundation to move this country forward. But we'll just be hand out, begging every year in, year out. We got diamond, we got gold, we got timber, we got fishery, we got iron ore, we got rubber, but we'll continue to beg. And few of us that have the opportunity to be ahead of these things will do good. Then this country is going nowhere. That, my fellow Liberians, is my conclusion for the night. begging all of us to use these platforms to advance the interest of the country. Let's use this platform not just to find fault with each other, but to find solution from each other. We have it within us. Think about it. Think about it. Those of us that are here in the diaspora, I'm on right now. People are watching me. How many people watching? 14, not many, but that's fine. But all these 14 people, I don't believe any of them in jail. People are working, making good life for themselves. And in order to do that, you have to find solution for whatever issue you had before to move to the second spot. So we have it within us. But we can't do it by insult, by accusing each other. Let's find solution. And you say, well, we've tried to find solution. People are not listening to us. That's okay. In time for peace, prepare for war. Find a solution now, because you never know where your time will come. So before I get out here, I just want to ask all of you, and don't tell me you don't love Liberia, please. That's it's not even believable. We all do. That's our country. So let us try, once again, let us try our our best to use this opportunity to find solution. Like I said, the 2020 election is coming up. If we're not careful again, we're going to have Liberia electing people that have no interest. And then we start all over. But if we start using this platform to advance the interest of Liberian, I must be able to look at Lofa County election. And if I have the opportunity to interview some people from there who want to be senator or this and that, and let me find out whether they have interest. Not just people in Lofa, but for Liberia. Because if Lofa is successful, Liberia is successful. If my son in Grand Union County can't find nothing good, Lofa County doing well, I say, but go to Lofa, I don't pay you, go to Lofa. Lofa people are not going to kick him out. Because that's what we are. We all come together. That's what we do. Before the war, have you heard of Yeswa before? It's a diamond mining area. You know where? In Lofa. Have you heard of Bapa before? It's a diamond mining area. You know where? In Nima. And not only Nimanian or Lofian alone operating those places, they have people from all over Liberia. Then what makes you think that we can't do this together? Okay, let me leave this. Let me write my. I want to thank all of you again tonight. Please stay safe and let's meet tomorrow. Turn into Mr. Soul Show, and I'm happy tonight that my operation is going well, and I thank God. My God, that is. But let me say thank you very much, folks. Those of you that are tuning in, we say we appreciate it. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Please tune in again. Wednesday, we'll be right back here. And, I know there was something I was going to say. But you want to hear on Liberian Public Radio that I can do that and say good night, then I come back. There was a statement that was made by Senator Prince Johnson. And it's on the internet. What I want to say to that is this. I'm not saying that we should discard those kinds of comments, because this man was elected by the people. He's not stupid. If you are stupid, Nima people now. Nima people that want somebody. The way I do the book business in Liberia, the people that are classified as real book people, the way I said me, the way I classify. Number one, book people, book county in Liberia, that Cape Man. Second, book county in Liberia, that Lofa. Third, book county in Liberia, that Nimba. Don't ask me what the other people. I say I know. So Nima people, they're not stupid. So for them, on a very serious note, for them to put together and elect Senator Johnson, they know exactly what they're doing. But for Senator Johnson to every time when Liberians are trying their best to put the past behind them, he will come out and make statement. During the election, he made another statement that if Dr. Weah wins, there will be civil war all over. Out of a sudden, he's supporting Dr. Weah. So does it mean he wants civil war? No. But when you're going to, even if people don't believe these things you're saying, you're not small ball. You're not small ball. You're senator. You're senator. So for you to come and make these kinds of statements, it's not conducive for the peace of Liberia. If Dr. Weah and his people are going to look at the Liberian people and rig an election, then it's up to them. For Liberian people themselves to sit there and allow the rigging, then it's up to us as well. What's the benefit right now telling us? What are the proof you have? What are some of the things this government have done that giving you certain indication? They just had by-election. Are you telling us that Abu Kamara won because the government rigged the election? What are you saying? But all I want to say to my fellow Liberians is that these things will happen. But let us be mindful. Let us know where we're coming from. And we should not allow the like of Prince Johnson, or Senator Prince Johnson, excuse me, to determine our peaceful decimation of the nation. To say that we're going to destroy what we're trying to build. That's all I'm going to say about that, and I will leave it alone. It's left with you to make your own judgment as well. Thank you very much, and we'll say good night. Samson to Liberian Public Radio.
Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because you see me the buffer. Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because I will on donga. We not build it, but we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. We not build it, we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. I go, back then I go. Then the build is on me. Back then I go. Then the build is on me.
Karema TV, enana, manyoka bora kanama. Karema TV, enana, sono sere kanama. Pare gri kuna, inana, pare wagi kanama. Baye jibo basogo, zakati ko pare manyo basogo. Basogo, Zagati go, but I'm on your basogo. Tumonwana, but I'm Tumonwa, or Bota Simo. Tumonwana, but I'm a Tumonwa, my able for a gama. Angani Bayo, Kadi Borusu, Ona Verio. Oji Besayo, Lokoro Borusu, Ona Verio. Angani Bayo, Kadi Borusu, Ona Verio. Angani Bayo, Lokoro Borusu, Ona Verio. Angani Bayo, Duro Tape Makuria, Wapaya Sava. Onana ayama lokoro mane sikuro mwa yepoza ne kripu ya moreu. Lokoro toriye boru suku. Suku ogere yo, omo ya lokoro kete so lori ti doro. Angani beyo, toriye boru suku ona veriyo. Oji besayo, lokoro borusu kuona verio. Angani beyo, kaje borusu kuona verio. Angani beyo, lokoro borusu kuona verio. Angani beyi, Duro Tape Makuria, Wapaya Sava. Onana ayama lokoro mane sikuro mwa yepoza ne kripu ya moreu. Lokoro toriye boru suku.